Great.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to No Segues. My name is Danette, and today I am sitting with a badass. She is an actress, a comedian, an executive producer for BET's digital series, Two Grown, and a world traveler también. Alana, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me, Danette. Oh my God. I'm like, you're doing me like a favor by calling me a world traveler. I went to Bali and like that's it. I've been to like Bali and Mexico and like that's it.
That's all you need to be the world traveler.
Oh, for real though. For real though. Like Bali is the farthest you can go across the world without coming back, you know? So
Yeah,
I did
yeah.
it.
I saw those images on Instagram and I was like, wow, so gorgeous. Did
it
you feel transformed after that trip?
Oh my God. So absolutely. The short answer is yes, I did. It was my first time out of the continent and it was my first time traveling by myself, like where I wasn't meeting with anyone. Like I've been on a plane by myself and gone by myself, but I've always had somebody there on, at my destination to either house me or take me around. So this was the first time I did that. And honestly, like usually I'm ready to come home from trips, like I'm ready to get back to the hustle and bustle, but I legitimately sobbed on the plane home. I was like, I was not ready to leave. It was just it was breathtaking, like everything about it. And there's anyway, yes. So let me not go too crazy with this one question because I could talk all damn day. But
Go
yeah,
create, like,
I,
take as long as you need because I love to travel. And when you travel alone, you just get to know yourself so much better and you feel more grounded. And I always feel connected to like the universe. I always say I
absolutely.
feel more connected to God when I travel because you have to be almost.
You do. Absolutely. I agree. Like, it's funny that you say that because connecting with the universe, because literally when I got to this small island called Gili Air, where I did a yoga retreat for my first 4 days, because I was like, well, I'm by myself. I need an activity. Like, let me get an activity to get the trip started and then I'll traverse. That was my plan. Like, I really didn't plan. The only itinerary I actually had planned out. And then I got there and just figured it out as I went. But when I got in that beautiful crystal clear water with that white sand, I felt like I was with God in that water, like I felt like I was amongst something bigger than myself. It was incredible,
Oh, that's so beautiful. How long were you out there for?
I think I was there for 11 full days.
Okay.
With travel, it was 14 because
Okay.
you lose a day there, right? On your way there.
Mhm.
So I had 11 full days
But
to
overall, you took off 14 days.
14 days. Yeah, but
Oh, that's a lot.
let me tell you, okay? I got there. Everybody, I'm on these little excursions with these people, right? Doing bike tours and whatnot, whatever I could do. I did an excursion every single day, if not two, while I was there. Like I was up all day. So I would be there with people from like Holland and Europe and whatever. And they'd be like, oh, where'd you come from? And I'd be like, New York. They were like, oh wow, like so you came the farthest out of all of us. How long are you staying? And I told them like 2 weeks, and they were like, that's it. Everybody in New York was like, wow, 2 weeks, that's such a long trip, and over there they were like, you came so far and you're only spending 2 weeks, like, you need to at least stay a month, like that's the standard, and I was just like, yo, we are doing everything wrong on the west side of the world, like this is
Yeah.
trash.
Oh my God, that's so relatable. I went to Colombia, I think for just 1 week, and everybody kept making fun of me. They're like, 1 week? What? Why did you even bother coming? I'm like, like, listen, like, they just think it's a joke that you
They
would
do.
travel for less than 2 weeks. Yeah.
Absolutely. So
That's so cool. So, how have you been taking care of yourself during this pandemic?
primarily I've been taking care of myself through fitness. I'm a personal trainer and I started teaching classes online during the pandemic. I had never done it before. I was really scared to do it because imposter syndrome. I don't know what I'm doing. It's like, no, I know how to do shit. So I therefore, you know what I mean? Anyway, whatever. Um, but that's the biggest way. Also, so my three non-negotiables every week are my therapy session every week,
Mm.
my personal training session. I also have a trainer, and my voice lesson, as which is what I just came from before we started our talk today. So that really, because the voice lesson, singing in general, like you need to be relaxed to sing.
Mhm.
You need to be, if you're tight, you know, which is the opposite of what I do for my survival job, right? Which is fitness. Like I'm constantly like,
That's a good
brace,
point. Yeah. You're
brace the
always
core.
tight. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's literally the opposite. It's the
Oh,
exact
wow.
opposite. So yeah, that's it's not only is it like something that, you know, hopefully I can use in my artistic endeavors, but it's a coping mechanism for me. It really helps me with depression and anxiety, you know, like Danette, when I'm home and I don't really have that much to do, like I'm singing the entire day. Not because, and I don't even notice it. You know what I mean? Like I don't even
That's
notice
so
it, but it's
nice.
soothing. It's very soothing for me, you know, and meditation and that too.
Yeah. Have you noticed? So you've been taking voice lessons for a year?
At this point, yeah, well, almost. Yeah. I started in April. Yeah.
Congratulations. Have you noticed your voice getting like more beautiful, more stronger?
Well,
Are you like, oh my God, is that me?
you know, the difference, okay, the way that I'm approaching singing, I want to say yes, but I have a different perspective of it now.
Okay.
So my objective with singing now is not about getting the outcome. It's not about I want to hit that note that Christina Aguilera hits. You know, it's about the production of the sound and
Ooh.
making sure that I'm producing it correctly and healthily, you know? And
Is that a
in
word?
that, in that sense, mind, I don't know, maybe. In that the adverb for healthy, I don't know, healthily. It made sense in my mind. In that sense, it's more, I've been more focused on like that mind muscle connection.
Ooh, yeah.
Know? So yeah, I'm kind of approaching it more from like a scientific angle right now. But yeah, no, I do like when I sing properly,
Right.
yes, my voice sounds, it's like, oh my God, exactly. It's like, I
That's
don't know how to do
nice.
that,
That's
you
really
know?
yeah, that's gorgeous. I love singing. When I was in elementary school, they were doing tryouts for the chorus, and the
Mhm.
art teacher had everyone line up outside and then hum like la 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 la. And I was nervous. So I lined up and I approached her and I was so scared and like my voice just cracked and she's like,
Right.
next. And like her dismissal was just like that was all it took for me never to sing again. But
Trauma.
yeah, it was so messed up. And then like in hindsight, I'm like, she was a fucking art teacher. She wasn't even like a singing teacher. But I've taken voice lessons at the new school. They had like art,
Mhm.
they had therapy using the voice. And
Okay.
I was surprised that within a week my voice was stronger. And there's something that happens to you
Mhm.
psychologically. Cause yeah, I guess because it's very soothing and therapeutic. As yeah.
Mhm. Literally, my Zoom link for my voice teacher is vocal therapy with Paul because some of the things that he says just apply. Like, for example, you know, I literally like there's sometimes he directs me, right? And gives me a note, and it's just so deep, like it's so applicable to life that I cry. You know, like a couple of weeks ago, he was like, Alana, make a decision. Decide that that is where the sound is gonna go.
Wow.
And I was like, oh my God, make a decision. That's like my life quandary. Like, decide what you want and do it. I want the sound to go, you know what I mean?
It's
And
beautiful.
I literally cried.
Because
You
it's
know?
so simple. It's such a simple concept, but so many of us don't do it because there's so many other elements that we're not aware of either, right? Like fear,
Mhm.
criticism. What
Absolutely.
other negative? Because they're typically negative, right?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah. So, and then how long have you been doing personal training? Well, how long have you yourself been taking a lesson from a personal trainer?
So many like I've worked with personal trainers since I was a kid. That's you know the backstory. I started with this girl that I'm with. I don't know when the gym shortly after the gyms reopened. So maybe like September, October of 2020,
So
maybe or
you're
something.
in the gym.
Yeah, I'm in the gym. I'm in the gym. But yeah, as a kid, I had personal trainers. I had a personal trainer shortly after what I consider to be my first quarter life crisis. I was like, you know, I quit my job and I was like, I'm gonna focus on getting healthy and fit. You know, I took a hiatus from drinking, just at that time, just a hiatus. I don't drink anymore now, but I took a hiatus from drinking and I was just like, I'm gonna focus on my health. And I was like, I don't know, maybe I want to be a trainer. You know what I mean? And that was 7 years ago. That was 7 years ago.
So you're not a drinker.
No, not anymore. being specific, not anymore.
You're right. You don't want people to be like, yes, you are. I saw, yeah.
Right. I had a talent. I had a knack for it.
Tell me, because I'm trying to stop drinking because,
Okay.
but I find myself, we're always at bars as a stand-up comedian. You're always at bars, and sometimes you get paid with drinks, which is nice sometimes if you're feeling thirsty. But
Right.
yeah, like I don't want to drink, but I find that it's in every single thing that we do in life. Like, how do you not drink? Like, what's your go-to drink when you're at a bar or when you're at an event?
Sparkling water, seltzer, club soda, Pellegrino, whatever they got. If they got
Something fancy and bubbly.
yep, a little bubble, a little bougie for the bubbles, okay? A
Okay.
little splash of cranberry or pineapple, so I look like I'm drinking a cocktail. And that way,
People leave you alone because I noticed that when you said you're not drinking, people start buying you. They want to buy you free drinks.
right. It's true. But yeah, that's what I do now.
Okay, so you do the personal training, you do the voice therapy lessons, and you see a therapist. How long have you been with your therapist?
My therapist I started with in either August or September.
Oh, okay, of this year. No, of
2020.
2020.
Yeah.
Oh, smart. Did you do it because you were in the middle of a pandemic and you're like, oh my God, I need therapy? Or was this something you already knew that you needed?
Well, again, I've had experience with therapists before. I was seeing somebody before the pandemic, but very sporadically. I had shitty insurance. So she could only see me every other week, or sometimes it was only once a month. And we would spend the whole session catching up. And I was just like,
It wasn't serving you. Yeah.
no, it's like,
You
what's the
can't
point?
get deep. Yeah.
Right. I might as well call it. We're going to take 10 years at this rate. You know what I mean? So, I actually, I'm going to get a little deep, maybe. I don't know. Well, yeah,
Go
but
for it. I'm all for it, please.
I basically over the pandemic at that time, I had like a flashback of, something of a traumatic event, and I called I did some Googling, I called a hotline specific for the event. And, basically I just wanted to get validation that what I experienced was not okay, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
And they gave me that validation and they were like, okay, do you want counseling? And I didn't really know what that meant. I mean, I assumed it meant therapy, but, and yeah, and I said, yes, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
And then they connected me with my therapist, Ben. Shout out to Ben. He's not listening, but whatever. And, I've been with him since. And, just so people aren't like, oh, what is she talking about? I mean, it's a sexual assault situation,
Oh,
which obviously we know that too many women and men, you know what I mean, experience this. And, I was young. It was my first boss. So it was a statutory situation. And, yeah, I was kind of vilified back then. Like, basically I was made to feel like
it was your fault.
it was my fault.
You asked for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
You,
yeah.
yeah.
And I believed, and I believed that. And I believed that. I'm 32 years old now.
Mhm.
This was 15 years ago. Like, I believed that for 15 years, And
Yeah.
when you have these beliefs embedded in your subconscious so deeply, you don't realize how you manifest that same cycle, and you re-traumatize yourself and you re-victimize yourself. And, it would literally be like, and that's part of the reason why I stopped drinking. I would constantly wind up in these situations like, I don't know if I wanted that to happen, but I'm going to act like I meant for it to happen, because if I acknowledge the fact that what happened is fucked up, then, then I have to
Yeah.
deal with it, and I don't want to deal with it. You know
Right.
what I mean? So
Yeah.
basically, yeah, I was like, I have to deal with this. I have to deal with this, you know,
So
on a,
that's good.
yeah,
Yeah.
professional level. So yeah, I mean, I've been dealing with it, and, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been the easiest thing to do, but, like, upon even just telling my family this information of what happened when I was a kid, because you're still a fucking kid when you're 17. Um,
For sure.
I immediately felt lighter, like literally in my body. Like, my body felt lighter. I felt my stomach felt flatter. Like literally my throat felt looser. Even my voice teacher, I think I saw him the next day or the next week, and he was like, "You're singing so freely today."
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, that has to be it. You know, it's a literal weight taken off of my
And
shoulder.
it also speaks to how we, our bodies hold trauma, like how our bodies are such miraculous vehicles. Like it does so much for us, right? Like it carries us around. It like makes sure that we breathe. And yeah, whenever we experience a trauma, like the body holds it somewhere in it. And for you to like verbalize and speak on your trauma was a release. You literally felt lighter. That's amazing. I read somewhere that there's 1 in 3 women that always, not always, but 1 in 3 women have experienced sexual assault. So it's a very unfortunately, very common thing.
Absolutely. Honestly, I think that's probably generous. It's probably, you know, almost, you know,
Every woman, yeah.
yeah, no, honestly, in some way, shape or form, almost every
Yeah.
woman has definitely been harassed for sure,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure, undoubtedly, you know, but yeah, the
I've
culture.
done stand-up shows where there'll be someone that says, I've never been catcalled and I've never been harassed. And I'm like, what? That can't be possible. Yeah. But I think, yeah, I'm still not sure if those jokes are true or not. But there's been a few women that have said they wish they were catcalled. And I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't.
I mean, unless they're going to take a spin on it, you know what I mean? Unless
Yeah.
they're going to spin it on its head some way, but
Yeah. You know, what's interesting is that you're seeing a male therapist.
Mhm.
Did you have any hesitation on that, or did you specifically ask to speak to a man? Most of my therapists have been females. I've never had a male therapist, so I'm just curious to like how you made that decision.
Yes. This is my first male therapist. And honestly, I don't know if it's because I was ready to be more open and vulnerable and honest. But you know, like I feel as though I've made more progress with him than I've made with anybody else that I've seen before. I mean, mind you, I was seeing therapists when I was a kid and I was lying to them. So it didn't, whatever. Like when you're a kid, you know, like you don't want to be going to a crazy doctor. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to be that, you know?
Right. But also look at what you said, a crazy doctor, because that's what we're told growing up, right? Like you don't
Exactly.
air your dirty laundry.
It's the
And
stigma.
yeah.
It's the stigma, you know? But yeah, so they asked me if I had a preference and I said no. And in my mind, I was like, it would actually be better if I had a man because that way I could have a corrective experience, you know? Like yeah.
Yeah, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
I see a therapist. I actually I started seeing a new therapist during the middle of the pandemic, and she was very mechanical. Like she was taking all this inventory, and I've been in therapy for like at least 15 years, and I love it. I find it soothing. It's helped me be a better person. It helps me. It gives me self-awareness. Like I'm always telling everyone, go to therapy, go to therapy.
Mhm.
So this woman, this was the first time she was like taking inventory, like asking me if I was bipolar, suicide, like all these like serious freaking mental questions.
Yeah.
And that was just the first 2 sessions. And I'm like, when are we gonna get to the part about me hating my ex-boyfriend? You know, like
The
and
juice.
so then we started talking, and I noticed that she would try to make me feel better, but there was like no empathy. Like I would tell her, I called my friend like 6 times like in the last month, and she hasn't called me back. I feel like I'm being taken for granted, or I feel bad. And then she would be like, don't feel bad. These are the things you can do to not feel bad. And also know that a lot of people are getting ignored because of the pandemic, and that, it'll take at least 10 phone calls before someone will call you back. So
she invalidated your feelings, essentially. Don't like I hate that.
it was weird. It was like she's giving me tools to cope, but she's also not like, right, she's not validating like I feel shitty right now because this girl hasn't called me back in 6 weeks or 6,
Whatever it was.
And then I know the other thing that was really unhelpful for me was that we would, with this particular therapist, we would meet throughout the week. So it was never, we're going to meet on Wednesday at 12 o'clock. It was like, we're going to meet on Monday at 8, Tuesday. And then the next week, it was like Wednesday at 5. The other week was like Friday at 2. I was like, yo, this is so unstable for me. Like, so then
you need that designated day and time, that hour that you block it off on your calendar every week. Nothing, it's a non-negotiable.
Yeah, because I noticed that in the past with my other therapist, like if my therapy session was like on Thursday at 12, I noticed that on a subconscious level, I would be ready to like spill come Thursday at 11:30. Like because I know that I'm gonna release it. But having all these crazy dates and time, I'm like, what? Like
Right.
it was awful. And so I stopped seeing her maybe like a month and a half ago, and I'm like every week. But I'm only sharing this because I realized that I actively want to see a therapist, and it's so hard to find one. Like it's not an easy task, which is
Mhm.
unfortunate because so many of us could benefit from a therapy session. And
Right.
like it's crazy how not easy it is.
I know it really is.
Yeah.
And
So
it's so, and it could be so expensive. It could be so expensive. Like I was going to this one chick for a little bit. Initially, I got her at maybe like $75 an hour, and then I took a hiatus from her because I don't know, I don't really like her, to be honest. But like I didn't really, the energy wasn't, she was very mechanical,
it
and
sounds like my old therapist.
yeah,
Yeah, like there's something about them that's just like,
yeah. And then
yeah.
she was like, "Oh, wow, so good to hear from you. So my rate now is 250 an hour," and I was like, no, I can't afford 250 a week for anything right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
no,
it's unfortunate. Yeah.
it is. It is. So then you have to start over. That's the worst part, you know? But
The starting over part.
yeah.
Sometimes I enjoy it because it's like, well, do I? Sometimes I enjoy it because like they'll ask a question that never been asked before, or they'll show an interest in an answer that you've given like 100 times before. It's like, oh shit, yeah, I guess that is something to look into. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, therapy.
Because you
So
get different perspectives. You get so many different perspectives that way.
yeah, I prefer the ones that agree with me, if I'm being honest.
I
But yeah,
pay you for your silence and to agree with me. That's what I pay you for.
yeah. Um, so I met you for the first time at the pit. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was at the pit.
The
You
loft.
huh? The
It's the
loft.
loft, right?
Yes, which is not there anymore. Can you believe it?
Wait, is it? I thought it was the striker. Wait, no, wait. The pit loft is the one that was on 23rd or 24th.
Yeah, right by FIT, like 8th Avenue.
Oh, that one. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's the loft, right?
I don't know. There's a loft and there's the striker, and I can't remember which one is
The
which.
Striker is the one by the New York Comedy Club
Okay.
on 24th.
Okay.
And the loft is by 27th Street.
Yes.
So I met you by the one on 27th Street, which I don't think is there anymore. And neither is the one by 24th Street. They're both
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you
I thought I
surprised?
thought I thought that the loft was still gonna be there, but I guess not. I
Unless
am. Mhm.
unless I'm making it up. I thought, no, I think, oh shit, now I don't
I
know.
know for sure the big one on 24th is closed. I know that for sure.
I guess I assume that the little one would be closed too, because if they close the big one, why would they keep the little one that doesn't have a lot of room?
Yeah. I don't know. To
But you,
hold on to hope.
yeah. So are you looking forward to performing stand up or performing on stage?
Definitely. Definitely. I'm looking forward to doing as much creatively as possible in real life, because really the only stuff that I've done over the pandemic, I did a few virtual sketch shows, and like I did a couple of Zoom mics, not a lot, and then I did one show in the park, outside, but
Which park?
in Central Park.
Okay.
I know I say the park, right? Like you should
Like
know.
Prospect Park, Forest Green
The park.
Park,
Yeah.
Pelham Park.
Um, but yeah, to answer your question, I mean, I'm just excited. I'm just excited to create and make things with people
Yeah.
again. You know.
I saw on your Instagram that you were recently signed with an agency. Is that
Um. So okay, technically yes. Technically yes. So my manager was she had her own boutique management company. And then over the pandemic, she merged with
agency?
a bicoastal company. Yeah. So that's who that is. Yeah.
Can you share with us your process to finding a manager? So from when I met you at the loft, I
Mhm.
loved you because your energy is so solid. It's like you're present. Like there's like when I saw you on stage, it was like this is a woman that's present.
Aw.
And then you own your space.
Mm.
So I'm imagining that's because you come from a strong family, and then you have to be like I'm making these assumptions because you're Latin.
That's fine. I'll take them. Those are good. I'll take the good assumptions. You can always take the good ones.
Um,
Mhm.
so did you know you've always wanted to have a manager, or is that something that came naturally? Like people were like, "Oh my," like were you being approached by managers, or was that something that you were actively seeking?
So I was for a while. I mean, I really didn't have any business actively seeking representation for a while, but I let that go. I let that go, right? So I was actively seeking a few years prior to when I started working with my current rep. Um, but you know what? I let that go. I was like, I'm just gonna focus on getting better. These classes, I'm just gonna keep creating and showing up. And eventually, I did the web series with my co-creator, and after the BET thing happened, right? I was like, okay, we got a little credit, right? This should mean something, right? So that happened. And then after that, every year ABC does this contest called ABC Discovers, where it's basically you do a self-tape. You submit, you pick a scene to do, right? And like anybody, literally anybody can submit. As long as they have the website, right? And the scripts. So I was one of the US finalists for that. And I was like, okay, out of I don't know how many thousands of people submitted, 9 people were finalists. I was one of them. That has to mean something, right? Like that's got to be a little validation that I'm on the right track, that I should, or
Yeah,
not even that I'm on the right track, but like, why stop? You know what I mean? Like
right,
ABC just co-signed you essentially. Like, why stop?
right.
So that happened next. So after that, I hit up my friend Rima Sampat. She was on Orange is the New Black season 6 and 7. Her character was Shruti Shambal or something. Um, anyway, shout out to her and any Orange is the New Black fans. I was so proud of her when she booked that. And I was like, yo, Rima, can you please holla at your manager? Because I think at this point, I should be repable. You know what I
Gorgeous.
mean? Like
Yeah.
I should have, like I feel like I have a couple stripes. I don't got all the stripes, but I got a couple stripes, you know? Because no, Danette, you have some actors and some that I know with like they really have nothing, like not nothing, but no legitimate credits, and they'll reach out to you like, oh my God, can you pitch me to your rep? Can you
Oh
recommend
wow.
me?
Yeah.
And so I didn't want to be that to Rima, but one, we were friends. We went to acting school together. We worked together. She knows my work. I know her work. We would do self tapes together all throughout the pandemic. Me and her were helping each other tape as well. So we're actual friends.
Yeah.
Um, and she was like, Alana, I don't know if she's taking on new people, but I love you. And I think you're a star. And I think she will too. So I'm going to try. No promises. No promises. And then I wound up meeting with her, and that was in December 2018. And that's when I signed with her. And now I'm with the bigger agency as of 2020.
Were you nervous asking your friend to have like were you nervous to ask your friend to introduce you to her manager?
At that point, no.
Because you were so confident, like you believed in your work.
Well, because I had a little something to show for myself. It's
Yeah,
not like
yeah.
just talking the talk. It's like, look, I make shit. I'm not here waiting for an opportunity, you know?
Yeah, no, it's the first time you said it, I was like, oh, because I feel it, I hear it. It's like you knew you were putting in the work, you were
Yeah.
creating good stuff, people were acknowledging it, and you were believing in yourself to the point where you're asking for things. I noticed that when I am feeling confident and I believe in my work, I don't have shame. There's no shame, there's no nothing about asking
Right.
people for opportunities because you believe you can stand behind your work. But it was interesting because when you mentioned how people that don't really know you at all and they're asking you to put a word for them, I
Mhm.
noticed that it's people like that that can cause doubt in me because I'm like, wait, what's this situation? Like they're just reaching out like that. Does
Mhm.
am I gonna is that how I come across to someone else? And
Right.
that puts doubt in my head when I'm asking for things because of people like that, that
Mhm.
just, they don't have anything to back it up. They're just like, why
Right.
not? I know you, help me.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Or even with BET, Danette, like people would hit me up for jobs. It's like I just created a web series. Like BET literally just gave us the money. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? And like said, okay, you can do this, you can't do this. Like and put it on their channels. You
yeah.
know, like that's what we did everything else. And no, I can't give you a job because I don't, you know what I mean? Like I hardly know these people.
Right. And I guess that's also another layer of experience for you, right? Like seeing how when you rise to the top where people will start asking you for
You're
things.
too
And
kind, but thanks.
I mean that's pretty BET digital state. I mean, co-signed you basically too,
Right,
right?
right,
They gave you money.
right. They did. They did. They did. Can't say I have any of it, but yeah, when you know, we spent it on the production. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we did what we had to do. You
Yeah,
know?
I used to produce a show at the Standing Room in Long Island City, and I remember that in the beginning it was exciting because it's like this responsibility of producing a good show and like working with other comedians, and basically for me it was just putting on a really great show. But then little by little people would like hit me up, and it was confusing for me at first because some people would come at me so genuinely and so sincerely. I'm like, oh, they really like me, or they really understand what my show's about. But it was
Right.
like, no, they don't. They just want a spot, and you happen to have one. Like they're just, but they would come at me so sweetly, or they would,
Yeah.
like every fucking post that I created. And then
Mhm.
when the show went away, so did the likes, so did the inbox messages.
Mhm.
So that was an experience. So that's why I imagine that you working for BET, or even, your status, people would be asking you for stuff. And
Yeah, yeah, and I would just laugh like, wow, they really think I'm somebody. Like I would just laugh, you know? And look, I don't want to I know you mentioned that like the stories of people, you know, with nothing to show, asking for favors, all of that. I don't want you to think that you shouldn't ask people for help. You know what I mean? You absolutely should. Because at the end of the day, the worst they could say is no. So, you know, I'm not I mean, I guess I sound like I'm judging certain people, but use your judgment. Use your judgment. You know what I mean? Like I don't know.
yes,
I think it's
yes,
that simple
yes.
because you
It,
could
de-
have
it
a it depends. It depends on the person. There's
depends on how they're
everybody
coming at you. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
how you know each other and you know, but if somebody's just like, you know, nice to you for a spot, it's like, okay. And unfortunately in this business, everybody it's very ego driven and very, you know, self-centered because we are our brand, we are our business. So, you know, we got to do what we got to do
yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah, that was very nice of you to clarify that. Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, like I've done it, I've been that person,
Mhm.
you know. And that's why
Yeah.
I say I had no business six whatever years ago it was that I was going to do you know one-on-one, like the school one-on-one.
No.
Do you know Actors Connection? Have you heard of
Yes.
Actors Connection? Okay,
Yes.
so one-on-one is like an Actors Connection. You just have to audition to get in. And I didn't get in the first time because I had no idea what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then guess what? I did the work. 2 years later, I got in. You know, and in the room, he was like, "That was great," and you know what I mean. And I was like, "Oh shit, I wasn't expecting that, but thanks." You know, because usually they're just like, "Okay," you know, and they don't tell you anything. Um,
Yeah.
so I don't know. Oh yeah. Okay. So these are these places, these networking schools that you can go to meet managers and agents and stuff like that. You pay to meet them. And girl, you know how much money I was spending doing that? You know, when I really had no business at that time. So
But when you're hungry, you and you
right,
believe in yourself. Like, I mean, I got to produce that show at the Standing Room because I was like ambitious, and because I was bold. Because
right.
I'm pretty sure 100 people would be like, this bitch has no business producing a show at a comedy club. But yeah, but again, it goes back to how much you believe in yourself and in your
Right,
work.
right.
Yeah. Oh
Mhm.
my God, this is exciting. How do you stay focused?
Oh God, how do I stay focused? Okay.
I imagine that because you work out, that you have all this good adrenaline, all this juicy stuff going through you. You're just like,
She got a lot of juice. It's usually accumulating underneath the pits. like it is right now. I've been going natural deodorant, and everybody should be grateful that we're still in this situation, because I can't stop smelling. Like, it's terrible, but I don't want to.
Are you eating meat? Are you eating a lot of red meat?
No, I don't eat red meat.
Oh,
I've
no
never,
shit.
never eaten
Eat
red
pork?
meat. Nope.
Okay. I don't know.
I do wings and fins, baby. Poultry and fish. That's what I do.
Okay, that's funny.
And hardly even poultry at this point. It's mostly fish. But anyway, the exercise, absolutely. Like, I can't go. I was just injured. Oops, sorry, laptop. I was just injured. I mean, I pulled my back out, right? It's like,
man.
I'm officially an adult. I pulled my back out.
Right.
Finally, and I have to tell you, like, I was judging myself a little bit. I was like, I shouldn't be this dependent on my physical body for my mental health. You know what I mean?
Oh.
But not being able to do what I usually do and, relieve that stress, I was down, I was really, really down in the dumps. So, but I got over it, and I'm feeling so much better now. But yeah, so exercise for sure. I meditate. I try to meditate. I do 2 months. Great. Good job. Almost every day.
You're like, I am one with the universe.
Exactly. I am present. I am light, and I am rising. And then, like, 6 years, I don't do. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. Then I fall off. For mad long. So, that helps when I am consistent with it. And then the last thing I'm going to say is, have you ever heard of morning pages? You probably have.
I have, yeah.
Okay. So just brain drain, just dump like 3 pages in a composition notebook. Try to do it in the morning just to start the day, without all those yucky thoughts or unnecessary, just yuckiness. You know what I mean? Just like that brain fog in the morning, you get all of that out. 3 pages. Sometimes I have no idea what I'm writing, but I'm just going to fill these pages because that's what I told myself I'm going to do. You know what I mean? You don't think, you just let it go. That helps a lot too.
That helps you with staying focused on all the other activities you have during the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or it just helps me start my day from a place of, okay, now I can focus on the other stuff,
I'm like doing my little check mark. Okay, we covered self-care. We've covered, you know what we didn't cover? Oh, we covered focus. You know what we didn't cover? Well, we kind of covered a little bit. Spirituality. Are you a spiritual person?
I would consider myself a spiritual person. Yeah. I'm like looking next to me at my sage and my Palo Santo and my.
Oh, nice.
I got this Palo Santo in a bottle. Shout out to my soon-to-be sister-in-law. She's super into that stuff. Oh my gosh, she has so many crystals. It's like, no person should have this many crystals, like, unless they're selling them. But anyway, I love her. She's great. So the meditation is probably, like, I'm not religious. I did go to Catholic school. I grew up, I'm a classically trained hoe, as I tell people, because I was
That's so clever.
I was the Catholic schoolgirl, so that's the stigma. And sometimes there's truth behind it for at least a few years.
What school did you go to?
So I did like elementary. Are you from New York?
I'm from Brooklyn, and I lived in Queens for like from 13 until I still live in Queens now.
Okay, cool. In Manhattan, I went to a Catholic school called St. Ignatius.
Okay. I went to Stella Maris. Do you know that school in Queens, Rockaway, Queens? No?
I don't know Rockaway. I don't know. All I know is the beach in Rockaway and Caracas. That's all I know.
In Caracas. Oh man.
Yeah. Where are we going with this? Oh yeah, just know, like,
so you're not into, so you don't believe in, like, I mean, you're spiritual, like, there's a God, like, that there's like a higher source.
I know that there's a higher source. And I fundamentally do believe that, like, we are all connected, right? Like, we are all particles of the same coagulation of energy and shit, like, you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it makes sense in my mind.
I feel it.
That's all that matters. That's all that matters, is the feeling. So, I did explore Buddhism a little bit.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. So chanting, just the chanting, really.
Yeah, I like their concepts. I like the whole like what is a Buddhist concept? It's just very from my recollection, it's just I have Buddhas all over my house. It's just very gentle. It's very forgiving, lots of compassion, lots of get out of your own head and think about other people is my interpretation of Buddhism.
I'd say that's pretty accurate. I mean, like literally I've only gone to like a handful of, in-person situations, because I'm not gonna lie, they could be kind of like, people that are really into it can be kind of persistent, and it's like, no, I'll go to a meeting if I want to, you know what I mean? Like
Cult-like, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Right. What's another positive word for that? Like there really isn't. Right. It's just, it's like,
yeah.
Come.
Right. So it's one of those things that like, I take from it what works. And the chanting, you can feel pretty amazing after that too. It's like it's like a meditation, but a different form. You don't close your eyes, you do it with your eyes open.
Oh, wow.
Like I really just think it's the vibration in the body that makes you feel more zen,
Yeah.
And also in Buddhism, they're really about the fact that your higher power comes from within. Like you are one with your higher power, yeah, it's interesting.
I wonder if we're gonna get any Buddhists like typing in like, you bitches got it all wrong.
Right? Maybe. I'm not saying, look, I said I explored a little bit. All right.
No. And they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that. Right. They would have compassion, like, okay, no.
Yeah, or they'd be at a meeting, which is
yes. Yes. What are you working on right now? So we're gonna close it up. This has been fun. I feel like I learned a lot more about you. Like you're the solid person that I thought you'd be.
And wait, I didn't get to say the kudos, not even the kudos, the reciprocal flattery, Danette, because literally, like, I was like, oh my God, I love her. I loved you. I love you. You know what I mean? Like I met you once, and like I need to follow her on Instagram. I want to be friends. You know what I mean? Like I was like, no, I'm gonna impose being in her life, whether she likes it or not. So
it was a good show. It was a good time. It was I'm really grateful that I got to meet you. You're a solid person.
Likewise. As far as what I'm working on right now, honestly, Danette, I've kind of just been trying to lean in to making content for social media. It's something that, I've had such resistance to, because, it's like, I don't want to be an Instagrammer. I want to be an actor. You know what I mean? Like I want to, I want to perform. Like, I don't want to, do all this, because, you know what I mean? Who's to say that what I do here, is gonna translate to other things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, I do. It's different. It's a different platform.
Right. Yeah. It is. But you know what? So here's the thing. I have found that a lot of times when I try to give myself something to work on creatively, I make it almost a punishment. Like, you should be doing this. You're not doing this. You're a failure if you don't do this. So it's from a negative place. It's from a harsh place. It's not from a loving place. You know what I mean? It's not from a place of joy. So that's what I was like, you know what? I want to create from a place of joy, and I'm going to allow myself whatever feels organic. I'm going to do, I'm just going to stay in tune with the whispers that I hear from the universe. Like, I don't know about you, but like a lot of the ideas that I get literally just come to me, and sometimes it's after doing my free writing. Beautiful. Or after a workout or on a run, and I'll literally have to stop and voice note, like, oh my God, this is hilarious. I have to voice note this and turn it into whatever, whether it be like a stupid skit for Instagram or, like, I don't know, a joke, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's great.
So yeah, I'm kind of, that's what I've been focusing on, especially because, I mean, we all been inside a damn year, like that's what people are on their phones, So people
are you on TikTok?
Yeah, but I'm not
active.
I'll get there.
I'm not on TikTok yet. A lot of people have asked me to be like to sign up, and it's
Yeah.
just funny because I read the, when you're signing up, it says, "Do you give us the right to your life?" And I'm like, no, thanks. There's a little caption in the TikTok thing that says we can access your emails and we can like it says it right there that they can have access to certain information about you.
Oh,
Um,
great.
but a lot of people don't care. And so I'm trying to hold out, but every now and then I get tempted because it looks like a lot of people are having fun and a lot of comedians have gained so many new followers. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I could probably,
That was my thing, it's like, oh my God, everybody's like killing it on TikTok doing simple things. It's simple.
yeah,
Like a lot of
yeah.
the stuff that people are doing is simple. So,
I'm
but
on,
I clearly didn't read what you read, Danette. So
well, because it was there. That was one of the things. It was there from the very beginning, but
yeah,
nobody cares. Like we're just giving out our information for free.
right. Because people
So
care more about like exposure and likes and all
yeah,
that.
yeah. Like what's his name? Little Nas X.
Mhm.
You've heard about him, like giving the devil a lap dance.
I didn't see the whole video. I only saw the poll part. There was more.
Right.
There was a lap dance
I mean, I
involved.
didn't see it either. I just read about it. I was like, oh, I can't fuck with this right now. But that's just an example of like, like sometimes when you're hungry, like when you want to blow up, like you'll do whatever. And that I feel like that's an example of that. Like if someone's saying, if this is gonna upset you, I'm gonna do it even harder just to get your attention.
Yeah.
But what was my point? So are you on Twitch?
No.
Okay. There's so many platforms. It's very upset. Like I love what you're saying about, like you're letting the inspiration comes and when it comes, that's when you create because that feels more natural, more organic. And I
Yeah.
love that you said that you sometimes get those inspirations after you do your morning pages
Mhm.
because that's what I've read and that's what I've heard. It's like when you're meditating, when you're connecting to yourself, you just have like you're connected to the universe, like whatever messages they want to give you, whatever downloads they are, like you'll be receptive to it. So I
Exactly.
think that's really cool that you're there, that's what you're
Yeah.
doing.
All you have to do, like, some literally, like, is listen. When you're connected, sometimes all you do is listen, and you're like, oh my God, that's genius. And the only reason I'm accessing this is because I did what I had to do, and I'm being still. You know, and that's what we have to. That's what we have to be right now, or that's what we've been for the past year. Like, if you didn't like yourself, I hope you do now, like
Yeah,
pre-pandemic. If you didn't like yourself, I at least hope everybody likes himself. I just spat everywhere. I at least hope everybody likes himself a little bit more.
yes, amen. That's
Or
good.
got to the root of why they don't like themselves, at least.
Yeah, it's been a long year. It's been a really it's what are we, April? Yeah.
April, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm going to close this out because
Okay.
I can keep talking to you forever. And I know that, we have other things to do like meditate and write and work out. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit with me. It was good to see your beautiful face. And I meant every single compliment. I hope it wasn't too much.
No, me too. All the love. Thank you for having me.
Can you tell people where they can find you?
Sure. You can find me on the gram at its Alana, ALANAJ. That's really the big one. I mean, I got locked out of my Facebook during the pandemic. I can activate it on my phone. I can access it on my phone, but not on the computer. And like, I don't really know what to do because I have so many pages connected to it. But
You could probably spend like 20, like maybe put it in your head that you're going to spend 20 minutes and then for those 20 minutes, just figure it out. Right.
well, I did reach out to Facebook. I had to send them my ID. Anyway, I tried already, so now I need to do it again. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. There's 100 other things. Yeah. I signed up for Headspace and it's paid for, but then they're asking me to give them more money. And I'm like, no, I already paid for this. And it's one of those things where I have to I have to send emails and I'm like, fuck, you want to send an email. So
Right.
that's like your Facebook thing. It's like,
You can't call nobody. You got it took them a week to get back to me when I did it the first time. And then I hadn't changed my password, so I have no idea.
you think
I've had that account since 2006. the same password.
You think somebody was trying to hack into it?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah. There's so much else we can talk about. Like we can talk about boys and men, but I'll
We'll
leave
need
it.
literally like 2 hours.
That what?
I said we would
Yeah,
literally need like 2 hours.
yeah. I
At
feel
least.
like we covered enough. But I would love, yeah, maybe we'll do another talk in a few
Sure.
weeks or so. But
That'd be
thank you again.
so welcome.
Bye, everyone. Please subscribe, like, comment, and share, and go follow Alana. She's really funny. She's awesome. She'll keep you entertained. And tune in for next week for my next episode. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.